Well, you know, how many box players are also these Samus players? So let's consider that.
Yeah, I know, it's so funny. There's like, I've heard people theorize that like Peach is probably the biggest box abuser, but all the box players are Fox mains, you know? So,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this matchup.
Yeah, what, you know, you play, you're also Sweet, so what do you think of this matchup?
So I think this matchup is really fun for Peach, maybe because, you know, it's kind of broken. It's really good. But
I like winning matchups too.
Yeah, exactly. You love a good winning matchup. I'll never forget Fiction, who also had a stint where he was playing Peach for a while. And one time he picked Peach, like he was mainly using it in early rounds, and then one day he just picked it against Hugs and he won 3-0.
Oh like, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, very brutal. For the most part, Samus can't deal with like high floats at all. She just kind of has to like really outplay you on the way down. So Samus is like pretty hard to just like run into. So if you don't like just approach into her, then she's gonna have a really hard time hitting you. So.
Yeah, I'd also like to bring up that the reason why Morse code I keep praising that he's so technical is because he's also aerial interrupting on Battlefield.
Yeah.
Aerial interrupting on Battlefield is impossible.
Is it?
Try it yourself, and like that also might be a frame one. And he's doing it effortlessly.
I'm not sure it's a one frame thing. It might be a 2-frame thing. If it's 2-frame, it's not like that bad, but yeah, I don't remember. I know that like Peach's double jump plays are really easy, right? And I think Samus's are quite a bit harder than that, but not. But Morsecode did take the first stock. I think that's a pretty big deal in like floating matchups. Is sometimes it's like you take the first stock, you get to just play with only projectiles for the next stock to see how much damage you can get or something. So oh. I like that Peach's back air just destroys the bombs and keeps her safe, so you know, like
yeah, I mean, like, at some point when Morse was just spamming bombs, I'm like, what if I just take it? And it's like, oh, it's just worse Falco lasers.
Yeah,
so
it does feel like 9% or maybe more. It's like quite a bit of damage, so you have to be careful. Like you have to have a plan off of it and not just take it for no reason, because otherwise, like I've seen people just take like insta 20% from bombs. Like
right, yeah. Like obviously have a little bit of a plan, but in other words, it's basically just a worse Falco laser. So
kind of like Doc pills.
Yeah.
They deal 9%, but you can kind of take them. Although my favorite like little known fact about Doc pills is they don't have set knockback. So they're like, you can take them at 0, but if you take them at 100, you actually get knocked back a bit. Like, Peach can keep this good position. This is like, there's a percent deficit, but she has so much good stage positioning here that she might be. Sam's kind of sneaks over. Dude, I think one of the annoying things for Peach in this matchup is anytime Samus hits you at like these higher percents, she gets a full charge shot. So Morsecode actually decided not to charge the charge shot there. He just kind of like went for the aggressive like edge guard positioning, but that is oftentimes how Samus would get it.
Right. You have to like kind of adjust the ratio a little, because like you don't always want to charge. Like even though that's a really good win condition for Samus to charge the charge shot, so then like it incentivizes your approach. Then you're noticing that they're approaching more, and then you can intercept.
Exactly. Ooh, just gets the charge shot to beat out back air. That's clean. This is really a game of inches in this matchup where like the charge shot just for damage, that's a win, you know? A health bar matchup.
Yeah, in a way. Because like, you know, edge guarding is not really an element in this matchup, so gotta really like inch their way in, get that charge shot, maybe even pull like
ooh, winky face.
Yeah, because like I've heard from Samus players, like they think that this isn't actually that bad of a matchup until Peach pulls a stitch.
Yeah, and it's really hard to stop her from pulling a lot of turns. Eggy's not really like playing that way, but if you've watched like Lod play this matchup, he'll pull like so many turners, right? Same with Armada, he would pull like easily like 100. Like...
Exactly. Pivot S smash?
Yeah, jeez. They both.
Not even a Mark main is. He's probably doing like a true pivot, like he's not empty pivoting.
Oh, true. Yeah, that is the standard. Dude, I remember Hugs was like not the most technical player of all time, but he could consistently pivot forward tilt, and he did it like the legit way. And I was like, why can you do that?
Yeah, so like in most matchups, like you're not really thinking about like, oh yeah, what if this Peach pulls a stitch? Because like, you know, normally like you're trying to rush her down anyway, so she can't pull a turn up. Like Samus doesn't, like, it's inevitable that they have to pull a turn up, you know, just from like getting hit alone. because like it takes time to recover, and then like Peach has pulled like 3 turnips already, and at some point the Stitch will be a factor.
Yeah, it's funny, we mentioned before that Samus can knock Peach away and get a charge shot. Well, Peach can knock Samus away and then pull 3 turnips.
Yeah.
So one
like
of them
a little
is like
bit
yeah, it's like a guaranteed charge shot or a chance for a Stitch face. Which one would you rather have?
Yeah. I take the Stitch.
Yeah.
How often have you pulled Stitch in this
A
matchup?
lot. Oh, God.
He should be dead here, but...
Yeah, kind of tricky. He had a wall tech too, so...
Yeah, typically when Samus has to recover below battlefield, like, she's pretty dead.
Oh! Unfortunately, the power shield reduces the power by quite a bit, so it doesn't have to kill there. But...
I roughly have.
Yeah. Oh, the dash doesn't beat the missile! Homing missile, too powerful.
That was genius to not use the strong missile.
Yeah.
Because he recognized that Eggy did not have much resources left, like no double jump, no only float. And it's like, yeah, take this, eat this, you're pretty far away. And it's like, oh, well, if I up B now, I'm going to die by a ledge hog. So that was like a checkmate situation right there.
Yeah.
That's something I would have recognized because I don't watch this matchup very often.
Yeah. No, I think Samus having like checkmate situations with her projectiles during edge guards is a pretty like big strength of the character. She has good edge guards against everyone, basically, even against characters that are generally hard to edge guard because like homing missile, strong missile, charge shot, bomb. It's like sometimes you're like, oh, I really have to recover only in this one way. And then she gets you. Very close match though for game 1. And we're going
yeah. Given how like Morse code is the obvious favorite here, like it's a lot more competitive than it looks.
Yeah. I will say I've seen Eggy kind of pop off in a couple of good ones. So.
Yeah. Might be a little bit of a hidden boss, and like this is a good matchup for Peach.
Yep. I think my favorite move against Samus in this matchup, which I'm not seeing that much of, is down air. And if Peach just kind of like floats like right above Samus's head and just down airs, just like walk up, down air, fade back. And Samus has no, like, she kind of has to up tilt and hope that she gets you up tilt. And
yeah.
It's like...
yeah, like, when Peach is at that annoying float height where like she could just dare pressure your shield, it's like,
yeah.
I can't do anything.
Dare into dare? Oh, that's the best shield pressure.
Yeah, because like, maybe you're shielding because you're expecting a dash attacker of some sort, and it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna float at this annoying height, and you have to eat it. And we see the aerial interrupt on battlefield that gave them 7%.
Oh, is that the aerial interrupt you're talking about? You're talking about the ledge one, not the... Okay, yeah, that one is really hard. You're right.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Aerial interrupt.
I was
he's doing it again!
Yeah, that's actually insane, because it's actually easy to kill yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That's and he's doing it like 5 times. That legit might be harder than Fox's ledge dash.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of times you'll see Samus like miss it and they just get the up air, and it's kind of okay, and like, but sometimes it's like really not okay. So.
I wonder like what goes through is like how I really want to know how like Morsecode does his technical. How's the Stitch on this movie?
Stitches can be kind of like, I think learning to play with a Stitch is definitely a big skill that like some Peaches don't really like focus on. Ooh, that's kind of a gimp, 90%.
Yeah, big gimp.
Yeah. But yeah, because I don't think hitting Samus with the turnip at all, right? Like hitting turnip is that tricky because she's kind of playing her own like far back. And if you just like look to throw it, it's kind of easy for Samus to dodge. You kind of have to set it up in there. It's a good charge shot though. Now Morsecode is a bigger lead.
Yeah, we're seeing some. I don't know if you noticed earlier, but he was literally putting bombs in front of Eggy's face.
Yeah.
And we saw Eggy kind of just took it. And let's see how if it's still a gimmick. Oh my! What?
That took all her resources. She had nothing left. Maybe she had a no. Pretty brutal.
Yeah. So yeah, we're also seeing Eggy just float over the bombs. Peaches. Pretty airborne a lot of times in this matchup, so I guess the bombs don't really... He's still doing it anyways, so it must have some kind of merit, or maybe it's just weird.
I think the bombs are pretty good. I'll never forget this quote from Ladondis, where he said,
yeah.
When my opponent starts doing bomb, my strategy is to hope that they stop doing bomb. Because like a lot of times Peaches will like because you can't just like falling forward air anymore, right? So like if he bomb jerks back, you kind of have to like wait for it to disappear and stuff. So,
also, it could affect Samus as well. Like, you know, you could bomb and then like run into it and do weird stuff. Like, there's really weird shield pressure that you can do with bomb. Like I've seen Morsecode spam bombs on my shield and it just breaks my shield. Like, what just happened?
It takes like two or three bombs to, and then suddenly wait, my shield's not to break, right?
Yeah. We're seeing Morsecode really getting a good handle on Eggy's patterns, and it's not looking good.
And I really think this matchup is kind of like momentum based with a lead too. Like the fact that Morsecode was playing with the lead the whole time there, it's kind of realistically you shouldn't change your playstyle that much if you have a lead or not, because matches never almost never go to time. But I do think people kind of subconsciously do change how they play. And so Morsecode just being very comfortable being like, okay, now I can do more wave dash back up tilts and bombs in place and then missiles and charge shots and stuff.
The onus is on the one who's in the deficit to approach more often to make plays. And you know, the other guy realizes that. Oof.
Yeah, oof.
As we saw the last two games.
Ooh, going for kind of a follow-up that didn't work there, and that's a huge punish, actually. So thinking you could get forward air dash attack and taking 60% for it is, and actually a whole spawn. Ow!
Yeah, like couldn't he at least up B that? Like, I don't know why he just gave that up.
Yeah, I think he tried to toad, maybe. I don't know, because he side beat on accident, right? So I don't know what he did. But
yeah, and then after that, he just like didn't even try to up B anymore.
Oh yeah,
or, like Peach Bomber or anything. Like,
yeah, he's just like, I'm doomed.
Like, cause like vitality is such a big thing in this matchup. Like, that's a huge gift at like 80. It's funny we're saying that like 70 is like a pretty huge gift, but that's the reality of how this matchup functions.
The combo started even sooner than that. Like if you go way back, it's like Peach missed a forward air dash attack and basically died at 20. So that's like really big. However, I do think this is the best counter pick in the matchup, so there's like a chance for Peach to kind of make something happen here.
Why is this the best counter pick?
I think it's just...
It just feels like the best one.
Yeah, maybe it just simplifies the game, but maybe it's just like the fact that Sharking is kind of better than stuff on this stage, but...
but Samus is just like Samus is like Morsecode, they won't let you shark you. Like, they're just gonna go to the corner.
Yeah, so
like
that's kind of...
stage.
I always kind of think of that kind of related to sharking. Like, every time you shark someone, you basically can guarantee that they end up in the corner. Because you either hit them in center stage, or you force them to do it. And, like, a big part of this matchup should be that you corner Samus, and then she's worse in the corner on this stage. Because, like, she aerial interrupt up airs, she can't, like, go to platforms and escape.
Yeah. So, like, basically Samus' disadvantage stage is worse here because there's no platforms to fall back on.
Yep. We see an up B here, which was actually just punishable. He missed the punish, but up B is never going to like land on a platform and edge cancel or anything on this stage.
Yeah, we're seeing some struggles with Eggy cornering Morsecode. Like, he like hard called out a spot dodge.
Right.
Morsecode. And we're just not seeing good conversions. Like, yes, this is like probably the best stage for really maximizing Samus' disadvantage here, but we're kind of seeing Morsecode getting away with a lot of things. I mean, maybe even reversible in some sense, but you know, it's still a disadvantage. You see Eggy getting some hits in, and getting them at 150.
Yep, and Eggy technically has closed the gap a little bit compared to the first stock where he's kind of off the free, so clawing his way back here, finding a down smash, but Samus actually goes to field up between the hits of damage.
Interesting.
Yeah. I know I tested this with Falco a long time ago, and it's only possible if you true crouch the hit of damage. So I don't know if that's true with Samus or not.
Yeah, and like how often you really do that in a real match.
Yeah, it's like if you can true crouch it, you probably should have just shielded it. You know? Or shined hers if that's also fair.
Oh. I'm saying the dare come out, but
Yep. Yeah, I really like just full hop float, dare forward, drift back land. And then you just repeat that and Samus will eventually become predictable.
Yeah. I have to ask you, early on that set, like Morsecode just earlier this stock, Morsecode kind of just like shot his charge shot. Yeah. Why do you think Samus mains do that? I never understood that.
I agree. I say the same thing about Sheik mains, where they just like they must shoot the full stack of deals, you know?
Like, do you not understand that that has so much pressure?
Yeah. just, oh, it feels so good to hit that. You know? I just want to get past low percentage. You see everything, and then, oh!
Cute of Eggy to think that you can edge guard Samus.
Yeah, oh my god, took 2 bombs there, which is an instant 15%.
Yeah, nobody's out there. Just watch.
Turnips are pretty good at edge guarding. Oh no, he actually did have the kill there! I was gonna say, turnips are pretty good at edge guarding Samus. They kind of interrupt the bomb shenanigans, and they interrupt the grapple shenanigans sometimes too. So, Peach is actually one of the better characters in that game, and she can go like way out there. So sometimes, like, when you just have to watch Samus bomb jump recovery, Peach can just like look way out there. But,
yeah, but like, you know, grapple is still really good.
True.
Doesn't matter if you can go out there, but you know, still fighting chance. You know, maybe just needs to stitch right now.
Yeah, true. We haven't seen one yet, right? Or
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of. He probably feels like he can't pull a stitch when he's charging his shot.
Oh, there you go. Get the charge shot out of the way. Now you can get first. I also like. I think he can just pull more turnips.